Blarney Castle and Gardens are one of the most popular places for tourists in Ireland to visit. And it's a great place. But there are some days that are going to be a little busier than others. So I want to give you this quick tip that you can use either before you go and you're in your planning stages, or that you can use while you're there in Ireland before you visit Blarney Castle. The reason that some days are busier than others is because the nearby ports of Cobh and Cork are cruise ship ports. And this is something that a lot of people don't realize, that there are cruises that come into Ireland. But on the days that the cruise ships dock in Cobh or Ringaskiddy or the port of Cork, then you're going to have an influx of a few hundred additional tourists to the site. So here's how you're going to check and see if a cruise ship is going to be in one of the Cork ports during your visit. Now, you can always do a quick web search, but what I like to do is just go straight to the Port of Cork website, and you can click Cruise Schedule at the top, and it will give you all the upcoming cruise dates. So let's say I want to visit on the 21st of July. I will just scroll down the website until I find the dates. So here's the 19th. There is a 650 passenger ship coming in. The 23rd, there's a nearly 2,000 passenger ship coming in. So I wouldn't necessarily want to visit Blarney Castle and Gardens on either of those days. Now, it tells you the time that they dock and the time that they leave. So you certainly could try to work your visit around that. Now, there's one additional check that I do, because this is showing me Ringaskiddy, it's showing me the Cobh Cruise Terminal, but I did a quick search as well on ChatGPT, and it gave me a slightly different answer. When I asked ChatGPT if there was going to be a ship in the port of Cork on the 21st, what it told me was that the Cobh Cruise Terminal does not have a ship scheduled to dock on that day. However, in Cork Harbor, there is a ship due in on the 21st and Ringaskiddy from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. Now, when I looked at the Port of Cobh website, it didn't show this Ringaskiddy docking on that day. So there's a little bit of a conflict. Will that ship be in? Won't it? There's a good chance that it won't. I think the Port of Cork website is going to be the website that's going to have the most up-to-date information, because ships can always change their ports of call or their schedules. So while ChatGPT is telling me that yes, there's going to be somebody in there, the Port of Cork says that nobody is scheduled to arrive on that day. So in my mind, the 21st should be a good day to visit Blarney Castle and Gardens. I would definitely avoid the 23rd. There are two ships actually coming in, a 1,904 passenger ship and a 3,560 passenger ship. So two huge ships coming into the Port of Cork on the 23rd of July. Probably not a day I would want to visit Blarney Castle and Gardens. There's another one coming in on the 24th, another one on the 25th. So you can see how checking the cruise schedules would be really handy when you are looking at Blarney Castle and Gardens. This would also be very good for planning your trip to Middleton Distillery, although those tours are on booked times only, so it wouldn't be quite as difficult or quite as crowded there. But definitely something to keep in mind. Now, if you already have Blarney Castle scheduled for a day when a ship is going to be in, what I want you to do is take a look at the cruise schedule. So we're going to look at the Port of Cork again, and we're going to check the ships that are going to be in there. Let's just assume that you are going to visit on the 19th of July. Well, it says there is a 650 passenger ship that arrives at 8 a.m. and departs at 5 p.m. So there's a couple of different things you could do if you're planning to visit Blarney Castle and Gardens that day. And that would be to either arrive exactly at opening or even a little earlier to get in line and get right in before hopefully those cruise passengers can arrive. Because if the boat arrives at 8, it's going to take them a little bit of time to disembark and get on their tour. So if you arrive directly when the site opens, you should be ahead of them. Or additionally, their ship is leaving at 5. So if you were to hold off on your visit until maybe 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon, any guests that would have been at Blarney Castle and Gardens should be heading back to their ship at that time. The crowds just shouldn't be as heavy. So I hope that helps you as you are planning your visit to Blarney.